to help get the account off the ground, well, something that was major that I don't think we've talked about yet is that we're doing a daily posting cadence.
Yes, that was part of the executive summary too, like establishing frequency.
Major uptick in content development on our end, and making sure we could support that, and getting kind of enough under our belt to keep producing that. So something we did at the beginning to get off the ground was we went back and selected some content from BrainDo's existing page that we were going to repost, stuff that aligned with the new goals, tone, etc.
Like the Real Coworkers series, that made the jump.
Yeah, that performed well, that we thought would help establish the new account while giving us a chance to get ahead on some more content, and or just getting the most out of our content we had already created. Right. We were very into, reusing assets where appropriate.
Yeah, and that was something unique that we were able to do. Probably not most brand new social media profiles will be in that position. So I would, in that case, recommend kind of really bulking up on content first. Don't start and make content as you go. Make sure you have a reservoir first and then start posting. We were in a position where luckily we did have this content that we could use from. So the first 6 weeks, we set up the first milestone, the first 6-week period. It was a mix of this pre-existing content and then new content that we were testing, trends, memes, scripted series, work from home, and office life. Those were the content pillars we were working in. There's a ton of crossover between them sometimes. Sometimes office life is also part of a scripted series like Real Coworkers, etc. But those were our 5 pillars that we were operating in. And our goals for the first 6 weeks were 1,000 profile visits, 500 followers, and we really would love if one reel broke 100,000 plays. So some other things we did to help jumpstart growth, getting right out the gate here. Tatiana mentioned we had a daily posting cadence. So we were posting once a day. Occasionally, sometimes we were posting more than once a day. That is recommended to kind of really jumpstart the algorithm, picking up on your content. It's not recommended to post 3 or 4 times a day. That's too much. You might actually start to get punished a little bit. But occasionally, more than once a day. Yeah,
and also really important at the beginning, we ended up doing it because we weren't seeing follower conversion, and one of our theories for that was we didn't have enough of a backlog to look legitimate.
That's right.
And so we definitely pushed quick enough to at least kind of get that first section filled, and then we slowed down again. I think that did help.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And posting daily just makes sense, especially with this, always tapping into trends that are coming up every single day, all the time. Being able to tap into that plethora of just constant content is very aligned, I feel with this kind of strategy.
Yeah, and especially looking at competitive analysis, we have competitors that are posting daily content. So they're shown in feeds more. Users are watching them more. So it is if that's where the competition is, we kind of need to also meet them there if we want to gain traction.
I think it's very interesting that you get punished if you post too much per day, though.
Yeah, I think the only platform that doesn't do that is Twitter. So you can make one post. People have reported seeing this. I've never seen this specifically in any account I've run, but you can post one post and it'll get let's say 1,000 impressions. And then the next day you post 4 posts and they all get 200 to 300 impressions each. The algorithm's kind of splitting between, they're not all going to get 4,000 automatically.
Yeah, I guess that's less punishment and more just you're splitting your, they're Darwinism, they're competing against each other now for your audience, versus only having one that's distributed.
Right. I guess punishment isn't the right word so much as there isn't guaranteed payoff. In fact, you might see less of a payoff or gotcha. Totally equal payoff for such an increase in work.
Yeah.
Definitely the Darwining your content against each other.
But it's tough. Also, and it's also changed. Instagram used to be super against posting more than once a day. Now they seem to be fine with it. I think LinkedIn recommends anywhere from twice a week to twice a day. There could be a huge range of what's best practice. It just really depends on your brand and the content output that you're comfortable maintaining.
Yeah, because I feel like with our other account, that doesn't make sense at all.
Well, we also have clients and other, projects to be attending to. So we only had a certain amount of production hours. And to your point, it makes much more sense to shift those production hours to a marketing account, marketing humor account, and do daily posts, and then go from 3 posts a week to 2 posts a week on the other account. Because also, like, this podcast feeds the BrainDo account. So with our finite hours, it just made sense to pour them into Not Your Average Marketer. Another thing we did to help jumpstart growth was use the collab post feature, that's literally what it's called, to cross-post the content to my personal account or Tatiana's personal account. And that was used as a bridge to help bring our inner network over to follow.
And with the BrainDo account.
In the beginning. Because we do want some level of separation between the two. Because we're playing, heightened versions of ourselves. We're playing characters on Not Your Average Marketer, whereas on BrainDo, like, we are the experts. But so we did these collab posts to bring over our inner network, and we had like people from high school that we haven't spoken to in a long time. We had like personal friends. Your hairdresser followed us. So again, that's a really unique position to be in because we are the cast and crew.
Right.
So because we are the face of the account, like, they're going to come follow us, as opposed to, like, I would never post like one of my random clients and be like, follow me over here, because they're not following and seeing me, you know?
Yeah.
So it is, well, there are also plenty of brands where their founder is the face of the brand. And in that scenario, it could be totally appropriate to collab post.